Sound Production. Sound Production. Sound Production.
This is ProTrader Music.
Yes. What's going on, family? What's the word? What is going on, my family in the building tonight? How are you guys feeling in the chat, family? Go ahead and drop those locations. Drop those locations in the Chizzy chat. Also, go ahead and let me know how you guys are feeling, guys. How are you guys feeling today? How are you guys feeling tonight? 'Cause I'm feeling good, as you guys could tell. You know, I'm chilling. I'm vibing out. It was a very interesting day today. And I'm just excited to go ahead and have this session with y'all and just talk about what the market has been doing today. All right, because it has been a very interesting day, to say the least, in terms of the markets as a whole. And you guys know we're going to go ahead and try to dissect exactly what happened. We're going to talk about different opportunities that could be present. And we just go ahead and vibe out, right? Have these discussions that I absolutely love having, you know, with my family, right? Which is you guys, right? Y'all my family, and I appreciate y'all for being here with me tonight. You know, but go ahead and smash the like button one time for your boy. Go ahead and smash the like button one time for your boy. Go ahead and smash that like button for me one time, guys. Let's get it. And we're going to go ahead and get this started, guys, in just a couple more minutes. We're going to get this thing started in a couple minutes. We're going to come through tighter than the can fit it. We're going to stack up this money, stack it to the ceiling. Yeah, because my team is fucking winning. Y'all going to have me rapping tonight, family. Y'all going to have me rapping tonight. Yeah. Let me go adjust my video. Need to turn on the low light. There we go. It's a little bit better. There we go. We live, fam. Let's see what we got in the building tonight. We got Rhode Island in the house. Charleston in the building. Cleveland, what's up? We got the Silver Surfer in the building tonight. Shout out to my 518 family. I appreciate you. I love you guys. We got Brooklyn in the house. We got Texas, Chicago. We live from the Mitten State. Shout out to all my Michigan family out there in Michigan. I appreciate y'all. All right, we got Oakwood, Georgia. We got Houston in the house. What's going on, Tyson? Good to see you, my brother. We got Nigeria in the building as well, family. Jamaica here, trying to get into the Christmas mood. Let's get it, Raymond. All right, sending happy holidays to every single one of you guys right now that's able to listen to my voice. I appreciate you guys for being here with me tonight. You know, again, just go ahead and smash that like button as soon as you guys do decide to come in. Let's get these likes up. And like I said, you know, we're gonna have a very interesting conversation, right? I see we got Planet Earth in the building. Shout out to that boy Skaggs checking in as well. Feeling grateful, waiting for the second payout. Let's go, Devin. I love it. Right, that boy Devin on fire. Right, Devin? You know what's crazy? Let me go ahead and turn this down a little bit more. Right, you know what's crazy, Devin? You know, you get into that second payout, bro, is literally putting you in like the top 1% of traders when it comes to prop firms, right? Because most traders don't even make it to their first payout. And even more traders don't even make it to their second or third or fourth, right? So big shout out to you, bro. That's absolutely amazing. You are literally trading, again, up at that 1 to 2% of people that are actually able to do that, right? And listen, man, you need to give yourself a couple pats on the back, my brother, because that's massive, right? So big shout out to you, bro. I love to see it, you know, and it hits a little bit different just because I've seen your journey, right? I've seen your process, bro, and it's amazing to see, right? So I see we got Greensboro in the house. Shout out to all my North Carolinians in the building. Alabama, Tina. What's going on, Tina? Good to see you in the chat. All right, let's see you good, man, with the rap. Hey, you know, I just be freestyling every here and there, right? Definitely not going to take it serious, for damn sure. All right, but let's see. Hey, boy, how you doing today? Let's get it. I'm doing phenomenal. You know, I mean, every single day that I wake up, guys, I'm blessed, right? I'm blessed and grateful to be alive. Anytime I'm able to come on here and stream with you guys, I'm blessed and able for, you know, the fact that I even have people that's watching me, that I have people that's tuning in. And I'm blessed and grateful for the fact that I'm able to go ahead and educate, you know, my family, right? That I'm able to provide you guys with a little bit more value that can help you guys throughout this journey, right? So I'm blessed and grateful for y'all even showing up, right? So we need to go ahead and just give a round of applause, right? What I need to do, I need to go ahead and I need to get me, you know, what is those things called? what is those things called? The little deck thingies, right? That comes with all the little buttons. Cause I want to be able to really turn up, my desk over here and be able to give you guys a lot of crazy sound effects, right? Cause I feel like y'all don't get enough credit as the chat, right? Cause without the chat, we don't got nobody, right? So I'm gonna give you guys the credit, guys, on behalf of every single streamer here on YouTube. I'm gonna give y'all a round of applause, right? So I need to get, that deck for sure, so I can go ahead and have some sound effects, give you guys a nice round of applause, all right? Because without y'all, us YouTubers, us streamers, whatever you want to call us, we wouldn't be able to do this. All right, so hold on, let me see what I could do, man. Cause I need to hold on, guys, cause like I'm dead serious about this, right? Hold on. Nah, that clapping sound effect sounded wild. We're never using that clapping sound effect ever again. That sounded insane. Yo, hold on. Yo, there we go. Round of applause for you guys, man. Wow, we gotta give a round of applause to the chat. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me today. Yo, that yo, y'all gotta chill. Get your heads out the gutter. And that first one sounded insane. I'm not gonna use that. Yo, but family, at the end of the day, man, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I appreciate y'all. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and get me one of those. What is this shit called? Skags, I know you know what it's called, bro. Them little decks that I'm. Man, this is gonna bother me the whole night now. Oh man, is it called a stream deck? It is a stream deck, right? Yeah, it is a stream deck, right? So I need to get me a nice little stream deck. Elgato stream deck. This right here is what I'm talking about, right? So I can have a whole bunch of different features and sound effects, right? So if anybody does want me to go ahead, wanna get me a nice little Christmas gift, here you go. Right? I need to get me one of those so I can have a lot more sound effects for y'all, show y'all love, because y'all always show me love, and I want to make sure that we're reciprocating, right? I want to make sure that we're reciprocating similar energy, back and forth to each other, right? Because I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all don't even understand, family. But let's see what else we got here in the chats. You guys are probably frying me up off of that one clap that sounded so crazy, but you guys know where I was coming at with that. Let's see what we got here, right? We got Colombo, Sri Lanka in the building. We got the UK in the house. All right, let's see what else we got here. H-Town, what's up? ATL, shout out to my brother Maverick. What's going on, Mav? Good to see you, bro. We got Vancouver, Canada in the building. Cali, LA traffic. Man, you probably gonna be in that LA traffic for the whole duration of this stream, right? Right, see we got the Bay Area in the building, right? Michigan in the set. What's up? Tyrone used to have one to slap. Next week volume will die, or Asian pairs will have some volumes to trade. It's very possible, right? It's very possible, Sahil. We've been talking about volume slowing down this entire month, but even though the volume has slowed down, there still has been crazy periods, guys, where the market itself really did still gave ample amount of opportunities, right? So it could slow down, but there's still going to be opportunities to take advantage of, all right? So that's just something to keep in mind. But let's see what else we got here. That's the wrong type of clap. Hey, yo. That clapping sounded wild. It sounded wild, right? Yeah, it's a sound deck. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's see what else we got here. That boy Trainer Will in the building. What's going on, Will? Good to see you in the chat as well. All right, let's see. Hey, that will be lit for y'all's podcast. 100% it will. All right, but let's go ahead and really get into what I want to talk to you guys about tonight. Take a quick look at the markets overall. Because I'm probably, just being honest, I'm probably not going to be on here for that long tonight. We're usually on here for a good 2 hours or so every single Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But we're probably not going to be on here for that long, guys, right? Because nothing has happened, right? We really haven't seen the markets move too much. So here's a few opportunities that I want to talk to you guys about today, especially based off the ones that we spoke about last night and yesterday, and also based off the stuff that we even talked about this morning during, the stream this morning. And I want to start off, guys, with GJ, right? Because GJ itself, it did its thing this morning, right? It didn't go all the way to where I initially wanted to, before we came all the way back into this choppiness. But if you guys recall yesterday, I actually gave you guys two different opportunities that I was looking at. right? My first buy opportunity, guys, was mainly playing off of, how the market reacted down at these levels of demand right here. Now, for this one, I did end up taking a loss on this position, right? Because I ended up using a pending order. I set the trade. I forgot about the trade. But by the time I woke up in the morning, I ended up waking up to, stop loss getting clapped. But how much did I lose, family? Right? How much did I tell you guys I was risking? Right? So how much did I lose? Answer that in the chat real quick. Right? Because I did get smacked out of stop loss. But the cool thing about it is I also gave you guys another entry point as well, right? In case that did happen, right? In case we did get stopped out over here. I told you guys that I also wanted to look for an opportunity, somewhere down at these levels over here. Right? So this morning when I ended up waking up around 6-7 o'clock, I was able to go ahead and catch an entry, on this price action down here at these levels, right? Once we ended up clearing this low right here, guys, right, like this structure low, and we started to see very choppy price action, that's when I decided to go ahead and, get into this position and get into the markets. All right, and again, this all happened, when I woke up in the morning, right? So I took an initial loss over here just because I did set the pending order. And let me just talk about that a little bit. If I was awake, right, if I was actively monitoring this position, I would have never taken it, right? And the simple fact is because we wouldn't have gotten our actual entry technique, right? We wouldn't have gotten, that entry confirmation that I was talking to you guys about yesterday, right? If you guys did not watch yesterday's stream, guys, I highly recommend you guys to go ahead and check yesterday's stream, because it was very informative, right? I talked to you guys about 3 different patterns that I like. I really didn't go in depth with the patterns, but I talked to you guys about my favorite candlestick patterns in terms for entries. And I also talked to you guys about how you should be looking for entries, right? Should you wait for either the break of the candlestick? Should you wait for the close of the candlestick, right? Or if you should just take the trade once that pattern shows itself, right? So I think yesterday's stream was definitely super informational. If you guys did not check that out, I highly recommend it. And yeah, we just didn't get that potential play that we were looking for. So if I was actively watching this, I wouldn't have taken a trade. But since I was sleeping, I was cuddled up next to my wife, chilling. The trade took itself because I used the pending order, and I woke up to a 0.5% loss, right? But again, it's not that big of a deal because it is what it is. And it's cool. I made it up by getting an absolute banger of an entry down here at these lows around this 159.5, 159.51 level. And we ended up catching guys like this. We literally seen this, right? Because once, I woke up in the morning, I started streaming here on for New York session, over in the Profit Society channel. If you guys are not tuned into the Profit Society YouTube channel, you guys are absolutely missing out. I think it's a super valuable channel and community to be a part of, just because it's not just myself on that channel over there, right? It's a collective, right? I'm 1/4 of the collective that we have over there. And I feel like that channel is so valuable because of the conversations that we have, right? Like we actually break down, guys, and give our honest thoughts and opinions on various different topics from a fundamental perspective, a sentiment perspective, even from a technical perspective, right? And it's just dope to be able to see how traders could either have, an agreeing bias or even differing biases, and everybody's able to go ahead and prove their point, right? In fact, me and Skaggs, we constantly, love to have these discussions with you guys, right? Because me and him, we have a really good understanding of how these markets work from a fundamental, sentimental, and even a technical perspective, right? So if we're able to agree on things, amazing. But even when we don't agree on certain opportunities or certain biases, we're dropping gems, right? We're actually dropping real value and really giving logical reasons for why, this might happen or that might occur, right? So super informative, guys. So again, please, if you guys are not following that YouTube channel, go ahead and go there. Make sure to be subscribed. Make sure to be a part of notification gang as well. Hit that noti bell so you guys are aware of it, and just vibe out with us, right? Vibe out with the conversations. I think the conversations are extremely educational for all of you guys that truly want to, gain experience when it comes to trading, right? So overall, it was dope. But like I was saying, we were able to catch a nice entry down here. And during live stream this morning, we literally watched this entire move go from entry all the way up for around 130 pips, right? And I ended up closing out not majority, but 50% of my position. I ended up closing out all the way up here, right? So I took a 0.5% loss here, but guess what? Let me take that off, right? I made around 3 to 4% on this big move here, right? So I closed out half of a position, right? But since this trade right here, guys, was giving us a really decent risk to reward, right? Because again, our risk to reward was absolutely crazy because of where my entry was, comparing it to where my stop loss was. You know, we're still able to go ahead and grab a very, very decent return here for GJ. Now, ultimately, you know, the remainder of that 50% that I left open, it did actually end up getting stopped out at break. It wasn't break even because we were our stops were in profit, right? Because we actually pretty much went through the entire process. Let me actually break that down for you guys, right? Especially if you guys were not honest. So let me go ahead and show you guys exactly what the process was real quick in terms of how we actually managed this position. And is there certain things that I could have done better? Of course, right? There's always learning lessons, guys, even throughout the wins and the losses that you take. There's always learning lessons that you could implement, right? So I ended up taking my trade around these lows down here. My initial stop loss was around this range right here, right? So again, we had a very crazy risk to reward, right? It was around 10 to 1 if we were able to see price come all the way up to these highs. Price didn't reach that high, right? But even where price did go to, you know, we still had around a 5 to 1 risk to reward, which is pretty crazy. But this is pretty much how I managed this position, right? Once we got our entry, cool, right? Amazing. We let the thing play out. But once we ended up breaking, guys, right, previous level of supply, right, which could have been considered either here or even up here, depending on who you ask. Once we ended up seeing the market get above these previous levels of supply, that is when we actually went break even on this position, right? That's when we went risk free. No risk on the table now, right? We cannot physically lose on this position, right, which is an amazing thing to do. But the moment that we actually went and started breaking up above this level right here, right, this 160.3 level, you know, we ended up rolling our stop loss even more in profit, right? So again, we went from entry to stops at break even to now stops at about 20 pips in profit, okay? And then once we got above this 160.7 level, that's when I really closed 50% of my trade, okay? And then the remainder, the idea is I wanted it to let go. Obviously, the market decided to pull back, so I did get stopped out, you know, on the remainder of that trade. But I got stopped out at 20 pips in profit, right? So it's still a very, very good, you know, trade overall that we were able to catch, you know. But the market really didn't do much ever since then. You know, we just got extremely, extremely choppy, and that's pretty much where we're at right now. All right, so that's one trade, guys, that I talked to you guys about last night. All right, literally walked you guys through exactly what I was looking for, what I wanted to see, and what I was going to do if this potential entry didn't hold. And, you know, we took advantage of it when, you know, when the opportunity showed itself. Now, there was another opportunity, guys, that I also talked about this morning that I absolutely made, you know, a really good bag on as well, right, which is NAS 100. Right, NAS 100, guys, was another one that we were keeping our eyes on, right? And it's something that I also told you guys as well during this morning's stream, right? That I was personally, and again, this was me, right? I know that there was different biases for NAS based on who was actually teaching it this morning. But the first thing that I told you guys in the morning when I was personally asked about it was that I wanted to see this thing go higher, right? That I was actually bullish these indices, right? I wanted to see NAS at the very least come back up to these levels of structure up here. All right, and it did just that. All right, so my opinion, my bias actually worked out really, really well, and I was able to go ahead and capitalize it too. All right, I was able to grab an entry. I initially was looking at price. What did I tell you guys? Right, I wanted to see price. Let me go ahead and get to it. Right, I wanted to see price come back down to these extreme lows. Ultimately speaking, that's what I wanted to see. You know, and price got there, right? In fact, we actually ended up running the lows, right? Now, I didn't take the entry once we came down here, but I took the entry, guys, once we ran the lows and we actually rebounded back into it, right? Once we sweep this lows right here and we got this engulfing pattern, that's when I actually went and pulled the trigger, right? And the crazy thing is, you know, again, it was going against, you know, what most people wanted to see, you know, on the call at least, right? You know, so I ended up taking my entry right here, which I told you guys about as well near the end of the session. And yeah, this thing went absolutely insane, guys, right? We're talking about just, it went flying, right? So this played out absolutely phenomenal for me. I was able to go ahead and catch a very big bag on that as well. I mean, it's not that big of a bag because, again, I only risked around 0.5% again. But it was still a very, very good catch here, guys, down here at these lows for, you know, NAS 100, right? So overall, played out really, really good. And yeah, those were like the only trades that I ended up taking today. All right, today those are the only ones that I took, the only ones that I was in. So overall, just to recap, I lost the one trade, but I won two. Right, so we won two, lost one, and yeah, we're doing pretty good. Right, we're doing pretty good. Right, but let me go ahead and see what you guys are talking about in the chat real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Caught that UJ and GJ on Monday. BOJ Wally, yeah, for sure. 100%. Let's see. That's the clap when she said her tax is done. You hilarious. All right, let's see. Hell yeah, you guys have some interesting opinions. It's wild when y'all don't agree because both you guys usually have the facts to back it up. Yeah, and that's what I really like about the conversations, right? And the thing is, it's never about and this is the thing, and this is why I love having conversations with my team, right? You know, whether it's Skaggs, Kyle, or Ray, you know, we have the ability to disagree on certain things, you know, but we always have reasons why we're disagreeing, right? We always have, you know, I'm not going to consider it facts, right? Because everything that we do is based off speculation at the end of the day, but we always have logical reasons for why we're trying to back it up, right? And I think that those conversations that we have in public with you guys there is not only going to help us, right, but it's going to help you guys more than anything, right, so that you guys can go ahead and really see, you know, the thought processes of traders that actually use the data to, you know, come up with some biases, right? So I think it's really dope, you know, just to be able to have those conversations with you guys and yeah, and just see ultimately what the market comes. But this is the thing, right? One thing about us guys is that we're so confident in, I don't want to say confident, right? I think we're just mature enough, right? And we trust our abilities to trade. We each trust our own way of trading, our own style of trading. And we're so confident in our ability to make money regardless, right, of anybody else's opinion, right? And just the fact that we're mature as well, you know, it helps out as well, right? So, yeah, it was pretty dope. I love it. I love the mixture that we got there in the Profit Society. I really do. All right, let's see what else we got here. What about Euro Pound? Can it come down? Right, we could talk about Euro Pound. Let's see. EU so choppy. EU is definitely extremely choppy. I mean, we can go straight to EU now that I went over those pairs. But EU, guys, is literally not doing much, right? It's still just ranging up here. It's been range bound since the 15th, right? So about 6 days now. It's just been going sideways. 7 days, actually, if you really want to go back to the 13th. And yeah, I've been chilling. I've been waiting on this. I've been telling you guys that I really wanted to see price spike up into this 1.069 level, 1.0689, and that's where I was interested in looking for some opportunities to short. And I mean, it's still there, right? That opportunity is still there, very much on the table. You know, it's just a matter of being patient overall, all right? But yeah, you know, that opportunity is still there, guys, right? If the market does go ahead and bounce up for EU, I would be very comfortable with taking that shorting opportunity to see if we can go to the downside, right? And I think it looks good in my opinion, right? So if it plays out in our favor, amazing. If it doesn't play out in our favor, amazing, right? It is what it is. That's why we manage risk anyways. But yeah, you know, I still think it looks good. You know, I still think it looks good. So I'm going to continue to monitor this EU and see what the market can give us overall. All right, but family, let's go ahead and get the likes up, right? If you guys are getting some value so far, go ahead and smash the like button one time for your boy. All right, smash that like button one time for your boy, and let's get crazy. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Let me make sure I didn't leave that up. All right, bet. Let's see. You held out on that Nas buy because Kai's gonna sell, so I understand. Yeah, and this is the thing, right? And that's another big thing about having a team, right? There are going to be conflicting biases, right? And although us as educators, us as the traders, right, that are actually doing the presentation, we have personally no issue, right, going against our own opinions, right? Like if one of my team members call out a buy and I think it's a sell, cool, right? It is what it is. That's your thoughts, your opinion. I'm going to ride with mine. But what I don't want to do is start to have conflicting ideas on stream to where now it's not even helping you guys more than anything. All right, where it's now going to start hurting you guys because now you guys are extremely confused. Like, damn, what should I do? This or that, this or that. And that's what I don't want to do, right? Because we're not here to try to cause confusion, right? We were here to try to educate more than anything, right? So that's why I was very quiet, right? You know, especially when somebody had a differing idea. You know, I wasn't going to jump in and say, oh, no, bro, this, that, that. No, I'm going to let them do their thing, you know, let it play out, right? And whoever wins, wins. Whoever doesn't, it is what it is. All right, but that's definitely one of the downfalls. If there is a downfall, that's like one of the things, just because it's going to cause a lot of confusion for you guys, not for us, right? Because we're going to ride with our opinions no matter what, all right? You know, they can have their opinions. They can have their thoughts, you know, whether I agree with it or not. You know, I'm still going to stick with what I believe in, right? What I'm looking for, the opportunities that I'm looking at, right? No matter what. If I'm wrong, cool. You know, I'll learn from it, right? If they're wrong, same thing. You know, if they're wrong, cool. They're gonna go ahead and learn from it, just continue to go. Right? So yeah. Let's see. What you saying on gold? I'll take a look at GJ. I'll take a look at gold as well. I mean, I already looked at GJ just because I was already in positions, and GJ's just very choppy. I think at this point, just looking at how we're reacting to these levels, I initially wanted to see a much higher pullback, just to see if we can correct some of this imbalance that we have there, some of this inefficient price action. But I'm not sure if price is gonna do that. Right at this point, you know, it looks like we can at the very least come down and test this wick that we have here and possibly, keyword here is possibly, right, make our way down to this 156.5 level, right? That's at this point, just based off the reaction, I think that there is a good chance that that actually does happen now. All right, so I'm going to be keeping my eyes on GJ though, but for the most part, you know, I already made a little decent bag on it. And yeah, you know, I'm torn between what I believe can actually happen here. But what I think can happen, I do see this thing possibly continuing a little bit lower now, right? So if we do continue lower, guys, again, I'm not going to chase to sell. I do not have no intentions on trying to sell down here at these price points. That's just me, right? I don't want to sell at this level of support. I just don't do that, right? I need to see the market pull back before I look for some more sells, right? So since I have no opportunity to go ahead and short this market, but I think it could potentially happen, all right, I'm just going to let it play out. And if we're able to get to this 156.5 level, then I'll be interested to see how we react off of there, right? Because that can give us an opportunity to see this market go ahead and give us a pullback, you know, to go ahead and fill some of this imbalance, right? This inefficient price action that we have up there, right? So I'm going to be patient with GJ. I'm chilling on the sidelines for it. If I wake up in the morning and something different happens, like if I wake up tomorrow morning, you know, and we see something like this where we actually starting to see the market shift, right, then we'll be able to go ahead and maybe do something, right? Maybe catch a nice little correction buy to the upside. That's possible, right? That is very possible. But for now, where it's currently at, I'm good, right? I have no intentions on trying to trade it right now. I would be interested if we see maybe something like this, a nice little change of character, pullback, and then we can go ahead and start to fill some of this inefficient price action right here. So that's just my opinion for GJ. If you see something else, by all means, definitely drop it in the chat. Right. In fact, if you actually see something else and you have your own ideas for any of these pairs, family, you know, that's why we have, you know, the Profit Society community here, right? Come right here to the Profit Society, you know, go ahead and drop your analysis here in the chat, you know, and I'll go ahead and analyze your analysis, right? You know, depending on what you're looking for. All right. And if you guys are not a part of the community, if you guys are not a part of the Profit Society family, then definitely go ahead and be a part of it, right? Go to profitsociety.co, go ahead and sign up and roll into the academy. You know, and go ahead and, you know, and interact and drop your, you know, your markups in there. And I'll definitely have, you know, I'll definitely take a look at it for sure. Right, but that's what I'm looking for there. All right, so let's go take a look at EU now, right? I mean, we already talked about EU. Let's go look at Euro Pound. I seen somebody talk about Euro Pound, and then we'll go ahead and get into gold, right? Now, Euro Pound is just, this is the one that I was looking at yesterday as well, guys, right? And this thing is just disgusting, right? This is one of the ugliest pairs so far, right? We literally have not done anything, guys, at all. I mean, since 2016. All right. So I don't know. This is not a pair that I'm interested in whatsoever. Like I have no interest, no intentions. I want to trade this. I did say yesterday that maybe, right? Maybe if we seen this thing pull back down, we could look for some opportunities to push higher. But even then, this is such an ugly, disgusting pair to be trying to trade, right? Like extremely choppy, ugly looking, right? So, and this is on the weekly time frame, by the way, right? Just so you guys are aware, this is a higher time frame. Now we're on the monthly time frame. Like, this is disgusting. If I did have a bias, though, it would be possibly to the upside, right? If I was looking for a potential buy, then yeah, I would want to potentially see. And again, this is the monthly. Just keep that in mind, right? So don't just try to jump in and say, oh, Abel said buy, let me just jump in right now. We're looking at this thing from the monthly perspective, guys, right? Massive. But I think this wick right here, right, this massive wick on the weekly or on the monthly, actually, I think that we do start to work our way up to fill some of that wick, right? Very similar to what we've seen in the past over here, right? You've seen this massive wick over here in the middle of this range, right? We had this big old wick, and then what the market do, right? It gradually started to make its way up to start to fill a lot of that wick. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see similar reaction here for Euro Pound, where we start to go higher just to simply fill most of this wick. If we continue in that bullish trend, cool. You know, it is what it is, right? We'll be breaking out of a range that we have been stuck in for the past 6 years, right? And that'll be interesting to see in itself. But it's definitely one of the uglier players that I have no intentions on looking at or even trading. But I will say again, I'm a fan of looking for some long-term buys on this, if anything. Right, so that's Euro Pound. That's the disgusting boy over there. Let's go take a look at gold. Gold itself, guys, also, right, although I did not take this, and I'm kind of upset I didn't take it because it did play out really, really well today as well, right? This is another one that we spoke about this morning, right, in terms of this liquidity pool up here, all right? We actually ended up marking up, you know, these equal highs right here, right, that I just circled. But we also highlight, you know, this level of support or of supply up here, right? We had a massive level of supply. We had these equal highs, right, which created this liquidity pool. And I literally told you guys, right, I'm not sure if anybody ended up taking this, but I told you guys this morning, right, if we're able to see price spike up inside of this liquidity pool, right, I would be very interested in looking for this thing to go ahead and turn around to the downside. Now, we didn't see too much of a massive drop, but we've seen enough, right, because gold is super aggressive. So if you guys took that thing from the highs, that's still a 100 pip drop, right? It's still a nice 90 to 100 pip drop from what I told you guys to look for, right, which was, again, wait for the market to run these highs, get into that area of liquidity, and then you can look for entries to go short, right? And the market did just that. All right, absolutely played out, you know, pretty much perfectly to what we were actually looking for overall, right? So now the question I know you guys are probably asking, well, Abel, bro, like that's cool and all, bro, but what's next? like how can we get involved now, bro? Like we're trying to get trades now. Well, if you're looking for positions, guys, to get in, I still like the sell side here for gold, in my opinion, right? I still like the sell side. Right, so I would be very interested in seeing how we actually react up at these levels up here, right? I mean, we are creating, you know, some very interesting levels of structure up here, all right? We have, you know, this high, we have this high, we have this high, and then we created the ultimate high, but then the market immediately came back down and shifted lower, right? And now we're starting to create this high. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we do start to see this thing roll over from these areas that we're currently at right now. Like, I wouldn't be surprised about that at all. Right, and again, we are on smaller time frame as well, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if we did start to see this thing start to shift lower. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about it at all. Let me see. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think I might. I think I like a little bit higher actually, right? If we're able to see gold maybe spike up one more time, maybe up into this. I really am interested in looking at gold now around this 1821 level, right? 1820, 1821. If we're able to spike up into that 1820, 1821 level, see, then that could be an opportunity to really start to look for some shorts, right? Just aligning with previous areas of structure, right? We have all of these resistance points, right? We have this high up here, and I would love to see this next resistance point at that 1820 potentially hold, right? So if I was looking for something for gold, it would be probably around that 1820, 1821 level, right? Closer to 1821 probably. Let's see. Yeah, closer to that 1821. That would be an interesting play. You know, targeting back down to these lows. Honestly, I think this thing could realistically drop, you know, a lot further. But yeah, you know, I think that is a very interesting opportunity here, you know, for gold. You know, target at least back below this 1812, right? At the very least. All right, so if we had an opportunity just like this, all right, this is still a 3-to-1. Right, it's not. I mean, it's amazing, right? 3-to-1 is good. You know, as long as I get a 2-to-1 risk to reward, guys, I consider that valid, right? But lately, we've been getting some opportunities to find some bangers, right? 5-to-1, 7-to-1s, right? Even 10-to-1s. This one's a 3-to-1. It still qualifies as a potential good play risk to reward wise, but it's not as crazy as we normally potentially see neither. All right, but it is there. All right, it is there. So if we can see something like that, then I think that could be a nice opportunity to go ahead and get involved. Right, now that we go ahead and bring in the MACD, I want you guys to see this, right? And again, I think I might be the only one that really uses MACD on here. I'm not sure if some of you guys are actually using this now, especially how I'm teaching you guys how to use it, right? Which again is very dope, very valuable in my opinion. You know, but if we do see this market, guys, actually break up, right, and create a new high, all right, but yet the buying volume is lower than this volume right here that we've seen. Okay, let me say that one more time, right? If we have bearish divergence showing the market, right? If we have bearish divergence, right, which means we have a higher high being created, but a lower high being created here on the indicator, right? Something like this, then that could be a very good opportunity to really start looking at some shorts, for some shorts around that 1820 level, 1821 level for sure. Okay, so that's how I will be playing it. Again, I probably am gonna end up, I might end up just taking this, right? I might end up putting the pending order guys up here. All right, I might end up putting the pending order up here at 1821, because it's probably gonna happen tonight, most likely during when I'm sleeping, right? So I'll probably end up setting the pending order up here again, risking around 1%, nothing too crazy. You know, seeing around this 1821 level. You know, if we're able to come up there by the morning time, amazing. We'll see it, and you know, we'll see how the market goes. But if you guys are actively watching this, that's what I would look for. All right, I want to see a higher high created, right? But I will want to see it on lower volume effort, right? On lower volume, right? So I don't want this next white candles, these next sequence of white candles to pop up. I don't want it to be more aggressive than what we're seeing right here already. Okay, I hope this makes sense, guys. This is making sense. Drop some threes in the chat real quick. All right, because I know for a fact that gold is definitely one of those fan favorites. All right, gold is definitely one of those fan favorites, right? So I want to make sure that we are clear on what, you know, gold can potentially do. Perfect. Shout out to you, Get Wrecked. Let's go, Big Griff. Native God, let's get it. Lewis, let's go. Devin, let's go. Danny, my little bro, what's up, bro? Right, AJ, let's go. Lachelle, let's go. All right, I love the threes, right? I appreciate y'all for participating for sure and letting me know that y'all is understanding, right? All 100 plus of you guys that don't understand, man, I hope you guys are eventually going to get it, right? Because I want you guys to really be aware of this, because this could play out. All right, let's go, Jose. Let's go, Rob. I love it. All right, so this is what I'll look for. Right, I want to see the market push up, create a higher high on this level of structure, right? This little reaccumulation zone. But as we create these highs, I want to see lower volume, right? I don't want to see these white candles that are going to show up, these white bars. I don't want it to be higher than up here, right? For an example, guys, right? Let me show you guys an example of what I'm talking about, right? So if we see the market over here, for example, okay, we can see that we have this bars right here. This is the highest point of volume that we've seen, okay? That lines up with this high right here, okay? But we still had this high that was created all the way up here, but look at the volume, right? Lower volume, okay? So very similar play right here, right? We have this high that shows the most buying volume, but this higher high right here is showing decreasing volume. That is what we call divergence. And that is why the market ended up collapsing pretty aggressively, right? And you guys could have gotten an entry just by reading that, identifying that type of divergence in an area of structure, in a key level. So that's pretty similar to what I would like to see over here, right? I want to see lower volume bars as we push higher. Okay, so hopefully that made a little bit more sense for you guys that, you know, that don't understand it, right? Big shout out to you, Rob, as well. Appreciate you. Let's see. Hello from Vietnam. What's going on, Ken? Shout out to you guys out there in Vietnam. I appreciate y'all. Vietnam sounds like a vibe. I would love to go to Vietnam and experience the culture over there. That's pretty dope. All right, imagine going out to Vietnam for a field trip as a community. That'll be fire. All right, we might have to add that to the field trip list. Vietnam. Wow, I would love that. Right, so yeah, that's just my thoughts and opinions here on gold. Right now, again, keep in mind, this could happen during this session too. Right, we are looking at it from a smaller time frame, right? So it could happen right on this session. Right, it very well could, right? And if it does get up to them, we'll definitely monitor and see how the market plays out for us. Right, we'll watch this thing together and see if the market does give us an opportunity. All right, but if it doesn't, then yeah, I'm probably just gonna set a pending order. You know, risk 0.5%. You know, and then we'll go ahead and just deal with the outcome in the morning, depending on what comes from it. All right, so yeah, you know, that's what I'm looking there for gold. I'm interested around that 1820 level, 1821 level for sure. All right, so let's see what else we got here, guys. Let's go straight to the dollar index now. Again, the dollar index really isn't doing much. If the euro's not doing much, then neither is the dollar index, right? Now, the cool thing about the dollar index, though, is at least the dollar index is more so giving us, this falling wedge type of pattern, right? Which is, again, is one of my favorite patterns to trade, right? I love identifying these falling wedges, right? Because it's like one of the easiest ways to really identify that momentum is slowing down, right? That this bearish pressure, the selling pressure that we've been seeing is starting to die down. How do we know, right? We'll just look at the pushes in the market. This was a pretty aggressive push, very strong, right? This one, not that much. This one was pretty strong, but it's still smaller than this one, right? The next bearish push is smaller, all right? If you notice, every single time we've had a bearish push now, a nice little sell-off, it's getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. All right, we're starting to see that price action is starting to slow down tremendously to the downside. All right, so I like the opportunity here. I just like reading this type of price action. Now, when we combine this type of price action with areas of structure, right, now we'll be able to go ahead and really fine tune an entry. Right. In fact, this is what I would like to see here, guys, for the dollar itself. I would love to see us go ahead and run this low. All right, run this low right here. This previous level start. Let me go ahead and just erase some of this stuff so you guys can see it. All right, I would like to see the market. Let me go erasing all that too. I want to see the market run this low right here. All right, this 103.5 level. I want to see it run, but on lower selling volume. Right, similar to what we were talking about there for gold. All right, if we're able to create a lower low, right, but no selling volume on that lower low, then that is clues, evidence that, man, we could eventually start to really see this thing shift, right? And if the dollar starts to gain massive strength, then you guys should know how to take advantage of that, right? You guys should know how to really position yourselves in the market, guys, to where you're now able to capitalize off of dollar potential strength. Because if we are able to see the market go ahead and give us that play, I mean, then at the very least, we're going to come back up to these highs, right, around this 111 level, and potentially even higher. We do have a lot of different areas of liquidity that we could potentially grab, right? Like this trend line liquidity all the way above these highs, all the way above it, right? So we have a bunch of different areas, guys, that we could potentially target if we are able to go ahead and see a potential entry. All right, big shout out to our newest subscribers. What's going on, Sativa? I appreciate you for subscribing. Let's get it, family. Go ahead and drop some welcomes in the chat to all of our newest subscribers. You guys know we show love here in this community. All right, we lead with love. We show love, because love is the way to go. All right, so definitely show love to our newest family member. Welcome to the family. I appreciate you. Definitely go ahead and showing us love. And, yeah, hopefully we're able to provide you with some value today. All right, so yeah, that's what I would like to see here, guys. Right, for the dollar itself, I would like to see a spike below this level. Possibly get to around this 103, right? 103 round psychological level, and then from there, we're able to go ahead and look for some opportunities to go long. I think that's a good play. All right, let's see. Hi, Abel. What's going on? Tak Para. How are you doing? Shout out to you. All right, I hope all is well on your end. Let's see what else we got here. Now, Vietnam will be 500%. I think it would. Can we get to see your MACD settings, right? So my MACD settings, guys, are probably going to be the default one. Not probably, right? They are going to be the default settings. The only thing that I do, right, is I just completely remove the actual MACD line itself, right? I remove that and I remove the signal line, right? All I want to look for is the bars. I don't care for anything else but the actual bars itself. Right, and all I did is I just matched the bars to match my candlesticks, so it's easier for me to identify what's going on. Right, but other than that, everything else is default. Literally everything else is default. Let's see. I appreciate you guys also that decided to welcome in the family. Thank you guys for that. Let's see. The Dixie could pull back for about 30, 60 pips to continue to go short. It's very possible, right? I mean, the dollar itself is going to do what it wants to do. But what I would like to see, personally speaking, for the dollar itself, right? And again, I could be by myself on this, but I want to see something like this, right? I actually want to see us go ahead and start to, rebound and push back up at the very least again, back up to this 111 level. I think that's very possible. That's my opinion. That's what I want to see. And that's pretty much how I'm positioning myself in the market to catch a nice potential rebound to the upside. All right, now, again, remember what I just told you guys about that divergence, right? Looking at the indicators itself. All right, we see that the market here is creating, right, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So we're creating these lower lows, lower highs inside of this range. But look at the indicator, right? Selling volume is clearly slowing down. All right, look at this, right? We have the lowest low, we have a higher low, we have a higher low, we have a higher low, right? So the selling volume is dying down right here. All right, we're starting to see less momentum, less volume in these pushes to the downside, which are all creating lower highs or lower lows, I mean. So that's just why I'm expecting some type of a reversal coming up soon here. All right, I would love to see the market go ahead and rebound and really start to give us some momentum to the upside. I think it looks good, very attractive in my opinion. So that's how I'm going to be positioning myself, personally speaking. All right, so that looks good. All right, big shout out to all you guys that are actually tuning in, family. If I could ask for one favor, go ahead and smash the like button for your boy. Right, we're trying to get to 100 likes. That is the goal for today. Let's go ahead and get to 100 likes ASAP. If you guys have gotten any type of value so far tonight, just do me one solid favor. Go ahead and smash that like button with full force. Destroy the like button for your boy. And yeah, I appreciate y'all for doing that. Thank y'all. All right, so let's see. Subscribe. Let's get it, Ken. I love it. Appreciate you for subscribing. Favor. What's going on, Favor? Good to see you in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. How do you feel about ETH? I mean, you guys should know how I feel about ETH, how I feel about any of these cryptos. I've been saying it publicly now for a little bit, right? In fact, even on my Facebook this morning or today, guys, right? On my Facebook, I actually created a post just talking about Bitcoin and what I'm doing, right? So let me go ahead and show you guys this post real quick, right? So I created this post earlier today, around 6 hours ago. Okay, I said I started buying Bitcoin again and plan on doing so every single week. All right, it's time to start accumulating again, in my opinion. All right, I don't see it going that much lower if it does go any lower. Only thing that will cause Bitcoin to drop some more would be if another major exchange, say like a Binance, starts having major issues. So until then, and even if then, I'm buying every single week. All right, so I'm literally buying, guys, Bitcoin every single week, right? And I'm buying Bitcoin around $200-300 every single week, right? Every single week. And as we get closer to the halving, right, I'm going to start to increase by how much I'm buying, right? So right now I'm buying around $200 to $300 worth of Bitcoin every single week, right? So around $1,200 every single month in Bitcoin. But as we get closer to the halving, right, as we start to identify that the Federal Reserve, which also is going to play a big part in this, as we start to see the Fed change course, right, they start to go from a hawkish tone, which means they're raising rates, to a dovish tone, which means they're going to lower rates, I'm going to increase by how much I start purchasing it. Okay? Now, again, you do not have to go crazy and spending your entire check if you don't want to, right? Because this is a long-term hold. All right, because I believe 2023 is going to be a very choppy, very, very choppy year overall for every asset. Right, like we can see something like this, right, going throughout 23 where we're just gradually starting to make our way higher, right, preparing ourselves for 2024. So if you do not have the discipline or the patience to ride out this entire next year, all right, then you might as well not even bother doing it. But for me, I'm buying all throughout all of this accumulation next year. Why? Because once 2024 comes and we do go through the halving, which is expected to happen in April of 2024, right, I truly believe that that is going to be the start of the next bull run. All right, so I'm positioning myself early. All right, I'm positioning myself in a year and a half early before the halving, because I want to make sure I'm making 10 million. Like, I need 10 guys, right? How much do you guys want to make next bull run? And we're talking about just cryptocurrencies, right? And just cryptocurrencies from an investor standpoint, not necessarily trading it, right? Because trading cryptos on margin is completely different than actually investing into it. Keep that in mind, right? I'm not talking about going to MT4 and just buying Bitcoin or Ethereum. That's not. I'm not talking about that, right? That's trading on leverage, trading on margin, trading with leverage. I'm not talking about that, right? You got to be super accurate if you want to do that. I'm talking about actually purchasing it off of an exchange and then moving it over to my ledger. All right, how much do you guys want to make? Like, what is your guys' goal? Right, what is your guys' goal for cryptocurrency? Like, how much do you guys want to make during the next bull run? Right, go ahead and give a number. For me, I want 10 million. Like, if I do not make 10 million this next bull run, like if I'm not up 10 million by 2025, 2026, right before the next bear market happens in 2026, 2027, then I'm going to be upset. All right, now, again, that is a very ambitious goal. I'm going to be honest. Right, that is a very ambitious goal. But that's my goal, right? And that's why I'm starting to invest now and I'm starting to accumulate now. Right? Because if I can have a bunch of crypto stored up before the bull run, then yeah. Right? I think it's very possible. Right? Now, again, it is a very ambitious goal, but I think it's possible. I would love to see it. All right, so let's see. You want Scott Devin trying to be the richest man in the world. Let's go. Devin trying to be the richest. I love it. That's very ambitious. All right, let's see. 80 million. That'll be dope. Let's see. I have my thing on automatic that takes 20% of the 20% of my pay. I love that, Big Griff. Let's go. Right now, watch what happens. I'm going to come back to you in 2024, Griff. And I'm not going to be surprised when I see you on your yacht. I'm not going to be surprised when you purchase that brand new Lamborghini SVJ, right? $800,000 car. I'm not going to be surprised when you buy yourself a Pip Island, all right? Because you're being proactive now, right? I love it. Let's see. 2-3 M's. I love that. It's very possible. 1M. Let's go. I love it. 10 M's, 2 M's, 7 M's. I love it. Let's go. It's so possible, right? If you start investing now, you just never know. Right, you just never know what these markets are going to do, and you just never know what you can truly get from it. Let's see. I feel like Elon. Yeah, that'll be dope. Millions to own a piece of Pip Island. Let's go, Raymond. All right, we're all going to have equity in Pip Island when we buy that thing. Let's see. Gold is at the supply zone on a daily. Can it crash? Right, so we actually went over gold a little bit. I'll just show you pretty much what I'm looking at. I am personally looking for the sell-off here. All right, again, this is just me. All right, I would love to see the market go ahead and give us an opportunity to go short. But yeah, that's just my opinion, right? I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Yeah. I mean, I would like to see this thing absolutely collapse all the way back down to this demand. Like, I would love to see this thing come all the way back down to these 1680s level. That would be fire. All right, that would be amazing in my opinion here for gold. I think it's possible too. Let's see. I'm gonna build a tiny home community. That's fire. Yo, Griff, I need that. Right, let me be a partner in that when we actually get to that point. I'll definitely love to partner with you on that. I feel like that would be dope. Let's see. Same view of gold. Room sells earlier today and yesterday made something nice. Let's go. I love it. I love it. I love it. ICT Queen. Watch this main sell move as I think the Dixie to rally up. Yeah, for sure. Right, so those are just a few things that I'm gonna be looking for, guys. In terms of the market, again, for me, I'm really gonna be keeping my eyes on this dollar more than anything. Because if we are able to see this thing spike down a little bit, then I think that can give us a nice opportunity, to really position ourselves in a bullish way. Or I think it's very interesting to set ourselves up in a nice bullish manner for sure. Yeah, I like it. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. GU's interesting. This is what I'm looking at for GU as well. If we're able to see this thing break out to the upside, guys, like I would be very interested in shorting GU around this 1.23 level. All right, I'll be very interested in looking for this GU around this 1.23 level for sure. Right, but just like every other dollar pair, we've been very, very choppy, right? Especially after these big drops that we've seen. It's been very, very choppy this entire week. And I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if we remain extremely choppy for the dollar, for GU, EU, NU, AU, UJ, UK, anything with the dollar currency in it. For the most part, like I expect it to be, extremely range bound and choppy, right? These are the type of market conditions that we experience, guys, during holiday season. Now, that's not to say that you can't take advantage of certain plays, right? You can still take advantage of certain plays, especially if you're playing on the smaller time frames, right? Smaller time frames can give you a nice opportunity to go ahead and find, some decent opportunities for sure. But from a bigger perspective, yeah, I expect the markets, guys, to possibly remain extremely, extremely choppy, because of the holiday season. Now, the only thing that will probably big massive momentum or volume to the markets is going to be, data. All right, like tomorrow morning, guys, right? We do have a lot of GDP news, right? We have GDP news for the pound in about 4 hours, right? Which is probably going to shake up GBPUSD. And then we also have USD news in the morning, right, at 8:30, right? And GDP is definitely one of those main tier one, data indicators, guys, that definitely brings a lot of volume to the markets. But besides that, outside of the data itself, outside of news, I'm expecting just a lot of choppiness just because of the time of year it is more than anything. Okay? But yeah, that's what I would look for GU. I ultimately would love to see this thing spike out to the upside, come up to this 1.23 and then look for some opportunities to short. All right, let's see. What's up, bro? What's going on, Swayze? What's up? What's up? Appreciate you for tuning in. Let's get it. It's been consolidating below the H4 trend line. Yeah, it's been very choppy overall. Right, you said the H4 trend line. Are you talking about something like this? I don't even really use trend lines like that. If I use a trend line, right? If I use trend lines, it's more so just to identify a pattern like what we're doing right here, right? Or is also just to identify areas of liquidity. All right, because I utilize trend lines to identify areas of liquidity that's building up. All right, or I'm using it to identify certain type of patterns as well. Those are the only reasons why I use trend lines. I don't use a trend line to look for entries. I don't use a trend line for, to find positions off of. I don't do none of that. All right, but yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Looks interesting. Looks very, very interesting for sure. Oh, jeez. All right, so like I said, the thing that I think we're gonna be able to, that I think can actually play out tonight, though, is probably going to be this gold. Right, this gold looks the most attractive to me. It's something that I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on for as long as I could. And the moment I start to actually get tired, right, and I'm ready to go ahead and go to bed, if it's not up there just yet, I'll definitely go ahead and look for some, I'll probably use a pending order just to go ahead and get involved. And I'll wake up in the morning and see how it played out, right? It's either I'm going to win or it's either I'm going to lose, right? But whatever happens, it is what it is. Let's see. Can you explain your entries? Yeah, sure. I'll actually just look at, I'll give you guys the play here on gold, right? I'll actually start from the top bottom here on gold so you guys can see the entire thought process that I have here, right? Since it is the one that's probably going to be the one that actually triggers soon. I got y'all. Right, so starting with a fresh chart here, right? Starting from fresh chart, really just going ahead and starting fresh on gold. So you guys can see exactly how I'm looking at this with my thought processes and all that good stuff. All right, let's take a look at this. And we're always going to start off on the higher time frame, guys, because doing a top-down analysis is extremely crucial so you guys can understand what the overall bigger picture is saying. Right, just looking at gold overall, guys, the first thing that I want to do is I want to try to identify what the current trend has been. right? The market for the most part, guys, has been very bearish, right? We have been very bearish until recently, where we've seen a lot of momentum finally enter the markets. But overall, I still think, even though we have seen a lot of bullishness come in, I still think we're very, very bearish, in my opinion. Again, I could be completely wrong, right? But in my opinion, I still like, the opportunity to go ahead and go short, and at the very least, right, if not start to feel a lot of these imbalances or these, inefficient price action, I think at the very least we can come back down and retest these lows down here. All right, so I'm bearish on gold. That's what I would like to see. Now let's go ahead and take a look at certain price action structures. Actually, let's identify some key levels. Right, few key levels that I like is definitely going to be this area right here of structure. And the reason why I'm really highlighting this specific zone, right, as opposed to like more some of these obvious ones that most people like to highlight, is because I'm looking for where the buildup happened, right? Like, where did the actual buildup of orders actually happen before price ended up running previous level of structure, right? Like the market itself, guys, right? It built up a ton of orders before we actually ended up, running this low right here, right? This recent low right here. I mean, we can even go back and bring this, even further back, right? But we're going to keep it right here just for, to keep it simple. Right, but where did the buildup happen? Right, the buildup happened right up in here. Right, we know with all this choppiness, and then immediately after that choppiness was done, we seen the market finally give us a very strong bearish candle. Right, in fact, we had a very strong 2 bearish candles. So that's my kill zone, or at least my key level here. Right, one of my key levels. I'm just gonna put kill zone. You could put supply zone, whatever you want to do. Now, the next thing I like to do, now that I identify that area of interest, what is the current price action doing? Current price action looks like it's becoming extremely choppy. All right, we've seen a very strong buy up here, very strong move higher, but ever since we've seen this move up, we have gotten extremely, extremely choppy. Right, where the buys itself, guys, is starting to slow down. Right, we're literally seeing a decrease in buying volume, and we're seeing that as we're coming back up towards a very interesting level of structure or an area of supply. Right, so all of this is leaning towards me expecting this market to eventually roll over to the downside, right, to then go ahead and fill a lot of this inefficient price action that was left behind. All right, and this is all daily time frame, by the way, right? But yeah, that is pretty much what I looked for on the daily, and that's why my bias for the most part is potentially looking for a move to the downside here for gold. Now, the next thing that I started to do is I started to go lower time frame. All right, this morning we talked about, this liquidity pool that we had here. All right, actually, let me go ahead and just give you guys a zone so it's a little bit easier. Right, this morning, we ended up talking about this liquidity pool, right, that was actually created. Right, liquidity pool. All right, and we wanted to see price get up into that area, which price did end up getting into that area. That's not what I wanted. Right, price did end up spiking up into that zone with this move right here. Right, now that we spiked into that zone, guys, I'm very interested in seeing this thing finally give us an opportunity to go short. All right, now we got to continue on lower time frame now. And now we got to actually fine tune our potential entry, right, and really identify an area that makes the most sense, right? So we know that the high of this market is up here, right? These are our extreme highs. Right now we're creating like this bullish flag pattern, right? But what I would want to see, guys, I would want to see the market come back up into this level up here, right? Because this is going to be our kill zone right here, right back up to this extreme high, right where that last bullish candlestick was. Last bullish candlestick before the market ultimately shifted, right? That last buy to sell candle, right? Buy up to sell down, right? That's where I want to see the market get back into now, right? So that's why I'm looking for this play to go up into here and around that 1821 level, 1822. That's where I will start to actually go ahead and look for some opportunities to go ahead and go short on. Right, just to align with what my overall bigger perspective bias is. Remember, my daily perspective, guys, right? I'm on a 5-minute time frame already, but my daily perspective was me expecting bearishness to come in. I want to see this pair drop. I would love to see this pair drop. Okay, that's my opinion, but it has to make sense for my entry now, right? where it would make sense for me personally is to see my entry back up at these highs, right, at these extreme levels. That makes sense to me 100%. Let me just make this a little bit easier, right? And then we can go ahead and start to target all the way back down to the lows, right? So that's my play here on gold, right? I hope it makes a little bit sense to you guys. I hope I was able to clarify some things, but that's me going from a higher time frame, the daily, identifying certain things, working my way down, and now being able to find a good area of interest that we could look for some shorts from, right? So that's my play. That's what I want to see for gold going into tonight. And we'll see what the market gives us ultimately, right? But around that 1821, it's either between 1821 and 1822 is where I really want to see. But more so than not, if I have to set a pending order, I'll probably set it at 1821.5. If this starts to happen in real time as I'm awake, then I'm not going to set no pending order, and I'll just wait for the market to get into that area, give us a nice shake of break of structure followed by a change of character, and then I'll go ahead and get involved instead, right? So it's either I'm using a pending order if I know I'm not going to be awake, but if I am going to be awake, then I'll just wait for bearish structure to finally shift up at these highs, and then I'll go ahead and get involved. All right, so that's pretty much like a little bit of breakdown of how I personally break down these markets and how I find opportunities. Let's see. What's good, Abel? I was on Twitter and seen a trader post profits. He was trading volatility 100 index. Can you give us some insight on that? I mean, there's really not much I could say about that. I don't trade the index, the volatility index, personally speaking. So that's interesting that he is, right? But I don't trade it, right? So I can't give that much an opinion on it. If he's trading it and it makes sense for him, shit, amazing, right? I don't know that many traders that trade the volatility index though. Right, like I haven't heard of not one personally, right? But that's not to say that traders aren't trading it. If you could trade something, then shit, if it makes sense, trade it, right? But yeah, there's not really much I could say on that personally. Let's see what else we got here. Can you please look into oil? Yeah, I could take a quick look at oil, or I could give you a little bit of a perspective on oil for sure. Or let me go ahead and just make sure that I set an alert here for gold so that I'm aware, because I think price is about to reach up into that area very, very soon. So we'll see what happens once we do get up there for sure. All right, so let me go ahead and take a quick look at oil. I don't have oil up here. Get you up in my commodity. Let's take a quick look at oil, see what the market is doing. All right, so what is the trend here? Oil has been extremely bearish, right? We can clearly see this thing has been very, very bearish to the downside, right? So let's go ahead and mark off our range. We have our swing highs, we have our swing low down here, right? So this is our trading range. You know, if I want to look for continuations to the downside, right, just to stay with the trend, and it has to be back up at these highs, back up at the extreme levels, locate that last buy to sell candle. All right, up here, guys, this area of structure, these extreme highs, is also a supply zone, aka supply zone, right? So I would be very interested, guys, and look for some shorts here on oil. For long term, again, we are on a 4-hour time frame, right? But if we're able to see price continue a little bit higher, you know, around that 81.5 level could be a very interesting opportunity to go ahead and go short on oil. Right, it could be an interesting opportunity. That's what I would like to see, personally speaking, for oil, right, from a bigger perspective. But the market moves in waves, right? It's probably not going to just straight shoot up there like that, right? Even though I do think that we do make it up here, right? We're probably not going to just straight shoot up there. What could happen, and this is what I wouldn't be surprised, right? If the market actually pulls back down into this 76.5 level first, and then we start to go ahead and just make our way up there, right? But once we do get up there, then again, we can go ahead and potentially look for some shorts. So if you guys are trying to like get advantage of oil now, like if you're looking for something that you could take advantage of now, then probably looking for this buy will probably make the most sense here. Just playing off of this corrective structure that we've been doing, right? And then you could possibly go ahead and start to target back up into these levels of structure all the way back up to these highs. So again, my main bias is bearish. All right, I'm bearish. Overall trend is bearish. But from a short-term perspective, I would not be surprised if we're able to go ahead and catch a bullish entry, catching a counter trend to get us up into there. All right, so that's what I would look for if I wanted to go ahead and potentially trade oil. Let's see, we playing in that order block. Yeah, I mean, I know you're talking about gold as well, or gold again, and yeah, I would like to see the market really just come back up into these extreme highs, right? It's not necessarily the order block itself, right? But I just really want to see this last bullish candlestick, right? Last bullish candlestick really give us a nice opportunity. Now that I'm here on a 2-hour time frame, right? Now I could really actually fine tune my entry, and yeah, I think coming up to this 1822.2 level is very interesting. All right, 1822. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I like the 1822 level. All right, 1822 is looking at what we're looking at here on the 2-minute time frame. I would want to see this little minor order block right here, this little pause in the market, before we ultimately continue dropping. I would love to see the market come back up and test that level. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's what I like that. Yeah, so if we're able to see price come up into this 1822 for gold, that's where I'll be very interested looking for some shorts. All right, but besides that though, family, like I said, it wasn't gonna be as long as a session as we normally go for. I wanted to get straight to the point today, and I am a little bit tired. I had a very busy day today. I know I got on the stream very, very hyped up, and I just like having a lot of energy, especially when I speak to y'all. But it's time for me to go ahead and definitely take some naps. Not even take a nap, go straight to freaking sleep, right? But this is gonna be my play for tonight. All right, I want to see this play out. If you're awake, definitely just watch it and see how we play around this 1822. If you get a rejection from these areas, don't be scared to take it. The risk to reward looks good. The setup looks good, right? Everything looks very good here. If you're not going to be awake, then again, don't be scared to go ahead and just set that pending order and allow the market to do what it got to do. All right, allow the market to play out, and then just deal with the consequences at the end of the day. All right, that's what I'm going to do. All right, we're going to take it. I'm going to deal with the consequence, right? Whether we win or lose, it is what it is. All right, it's a part of the game. All right, let's see. Wouldn't that be a premium level or a discount? So that would be an actual premium level if we're playing, right? If we're playing swing high to swing low as our range, right? If this is our range right here that we're playing, swing high to swing low, then that would be in a premium level, which is what we want to look for when we're actually selling. Okay. But family, besides that, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for rocking with me today. I will be live tomorrow morning with the Prophet Society family. All right, we're gonna be live around 8:15, almost 8:30. All right, so definitely go ahead and make sure to jump on, and yeah, we'll be able to have a lot of different discussions for sure. All right, I appreciate you, 20 Pip Savage, for the $3 donation. Let's get it. Merry Christmas to you too, my brother. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for showing love and sponsoring the channel. Definitely means a lot to me. All right, but family, I appreciate you guys. If I don't speak to you guys tomorrow for whatever reason, I want to wish you guys all a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, a happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is that you celebrate. Definitely go ahead and spend some time with your family, and hopefully I'm able to spend some time with you guys tomorrow as well. Right, but family, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you guys for rocking with me, and I shall talk to you guys all later. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your guys' night. Let's get it.